All right, welcome back to my channel, Keith Harrison Cooking. Today what's on the menu is steak. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a pan-seared ribeye steak in truffle butter. All right, so today for the ingredients we have here salt and pepper in this container, rosemary and thyme, whole garlic, truffle butter, and a ribeye steak, and that's pretty much it for the ingredients today. It's really simple. All right, I have a whole garlic because then I want the minced stuff that will burn easy. As we cook, I'll explain why I have the whole cloves of garlic. Once I put the butter in, once we start basting the steak, I don't want the garlic to burn, so we're going to go with whole cloves of garlic. All right, let's go to the stove and start cooking. So I'm going to go in with the cooking olive oil in the pan. I had the skillet warming up. So before we cook the steak, we have to season it. So I'm going to go in with salt and pepper on both sides. And I'm going to flip it over and do the other side like so. And as you can see, the marbling throughout the steak has a lot of flavor in a ribeye steak. All right, so I'm going to add the steak to the pan, and always once we're adding meat to the pan, lay it away from you so you do not get hit with the splattering from the oil in the pan. And we're just going to leave it alone and let it do its thing. We have it on a little bit over a medium high heat. And we're just going to let the steak develop a nice sear or brown crust on the bottom of the steak. Now this steak is not too thick, so I do not need to place it in the oven. We're going to cook the whole steak in this skillet. All right, now it's been a couple more minutes. Let me check the bottom of the steak. Yep, we're getting some good color on the steak right there. As you can see, it's still pretty rare right here in the steak. So you don't have to be afraid of having on a medium-high heat. This steak is still, this is raw right here. So even though the one side is, it's been cooking, it's been searing, we're still looking good. I'm just going to hold the steak on its side, and I'm going to cook down the fat. It's called rendering it down. All right, so now I'm going to flip it on this other side. And goes the butter. Garlic, the thyme and rosemary. And don't worry about the rosemary and thyme popping. It's a dry herb, so it's going to pop once you put in hot oil. And I like to tilt my skillet to one side just so that the butter, the oil, and all the flavor from the thyme and the rosemary runs back down once I'm basting. And we're going to hold it still for another 30 seconds, and I'm going to go back to basting. I'm going to take this steak out of the skillet, and we have to let it rest for about 8 to 10 minutes. We're just going to let the steak sit for about 8 to 10 minutes, and then afterwards, we're going to slice it up and see how we did. So now that we've cooked the steak, we had it resting for about 8 minutes right now. It's important not to miss this step so that all of the juices go back into the steak. We're gonna lose some, of course, but if you cut it too soon, the steak will dry out. It will not be juicy. You want the steak to rest, so to allow the juices to go back into the steak. And we don't want too thin of a piece of steak. I'm gonna have some thick pieces here, right there. It's not overcooked. that all right there. My handy plate. Nice juicy steak right there. A little bit of color on the plate. I'm gonna hit it with some salt and pepper. Just add a little bit more seasoning to the steak. There we have it. The pan-seared ribeye steak and truffle butter. Only thing I have to do is taste it and see how the steak is on point. Nice and juicy. You'll never want to go eat out. Spend $100 for a steak at a good restaurant. You cook it at home. The steak is amazing. Also, people was asking where I'm from. I have to show the Detroit hat. Represent the city. So Detroit, there you go. All right, gotta tilt it to the side a little bit. So there you are. Thank you for joining my channel, Keith Harrison Cooking. Have a great night. See you.